So in multiple trades tonight, one's automated and one is not. This one was a manual trade. So you can see from the other day, we made all-time highs and we hit that today we had the big leg up out of the open, a little bit of pullback, second leg up, tagged the all-time highs. Market consolidated and then they just pumped all the way to end of day and they pushed it even some in the after hour session. I did work a scalp dot trade here. It made like 190 bucks. And basically, I took off a few contracts. It was pushing. Stall lifted. Then I had a scalp dot long, so I flattened. I thought at a minimum we would come up since we'd already pushed all the way up and at least tag that high. We did, and it chopped around a bit, and I just flattened it. So I ended that today in that account, like, I don't know, 640 bucks. So close enough to daily profit objective on a scalp dot short. And, after a push out of the open, thought we might get some selling, took a shot at it, right away got the long, rode that, and basically just went flat. So anyhow, we were one and done on the automation. The mom signal's long, had a long signal basically right out of the open, and that thing just took off and you were one and done. Okay, so anyhow, I'm working these new all-time highs, scalp dot trade. You can see, so we rotated from this previous high. We came down, traded slightly below the bands at the, it was about 10:50, 11 a.m. U.S. Central Time. And then the market basically made some W pattern lifts, a little bit of fallback, held that area though, end of day, and we closed up. And then we were cyclical. We had a bit of a W pattern here leading right up to the U.S. cash, or, the pre-market leading right up to the U.S. cash session open. Lifted, got into the U.S. cash session open right about here. So we lifted a bit, and then it was off to the races. So yeah, we had a mom signal trade somewhere in here. All I know, it was one and done. So that worked out good. But yeah, sitting in short off all-time highs. And let me go pull this up right here so we can see it a little bit better. And there's the scalp dot right there. So we got the scalp dot right here. I put in a little bit of liquidity on that triangle, and then I added some. I only put in 2 MNQs, and then I went big size on the scalp dot, much bigger size than I typically trade. Just, we're at all-time highs. We're in the overnight session, and I figured with like 4 or 5 all-time highs in a row in the last few days, and all this, pump by institutionals, and then we extended up already 50, almost 60 points leading into the Asian session open. So I'm like, okay, I'm taking a shot at that. So anyhow, I need to put a stop in here. Put 15s on here. And there is my stop on the scalp dot. Soon as I tag first, any sort of push below the 320s, I'll kind of watch. If it stalls out, doesn't come right down, I'm going to take out 5, set stop to 10, and move it to break even plus about a point and a half. And then leave it on, and we'll see what happens through the Asian session and then into the EU session tonight. See if we get any selling. Getting these 2 targets are kind of my primary objective. Get over $1,000, maybe 1,200-ish. Anything beyond that would be gravy. So I just have a target far away in case this thing just lets go, and you never know. We still have a big war going on in Eastern Europe, unfortunately. Not sure what anybody's gaining out of that anymore. Just unending devastation. So, but you never know. Something weird can happen geopolitically or financially, or some company can announce something, and down we go. The market is extremely top heavy right now. I was just sent some data that it's the highest they've ever seen the stock market and the futures market with liquidity jammed in the upper 3% range of price. That's dangerous. Institutionals, very likely the reason they came in like gangbusters today and pumped it hard, like they don't care. It's like an agenda move. They usually do that to push a market up so they can distribute. They'll unwind stocks, and then, they'll cycle the market and they'll load up with options positions and futures positions short, and then get out of the way as buyers, and the market will settle right back. So when you see institutionals push the way they did today, those are agenda moves. They're not doing that because they're happy. They're doing it because they're worried about something. And they need to get their portfolios set up for whatever they're anticipating is ahead the rest of the week or going into next week. So anyhow, there we have it. I'm in a scalp short, and we'll see what happens with this particular trade. Okay, so this morning, right here was just a little early for the automated. That first signal was about 8:25 U.S. Central Time. So I was watching it lift through the open, lift, a little bit of a pullback. Did get a mom signal right around 8:48 and had a pretty good push right there. So I was done on this mainly because, let me turn that off, mainly because we were coming up on the area, kind of the base of these pivots before we broke and had the big leg down. So that was kind of the area that I thought, okay, if we get long, if we can push that area, I want to be done. So I was in slightly higher position size than normal today. I was in 7s instead of 5s. Because I thought actually it might trigger into a short and come sweep this lower range if we get short. So any sort of push down with 7s on would get me over a daily goal. In this case, it fired long and just grinded a bit and then ran hard right up into that area where we started selling yesterday. Actually, I don't need that area in there anymore. So that worked out. I was done, and that was a one and done. I know some that continued trading today, and they got done too, but it took 3 trades. So they were long, then they were short, then they were long, and then the long pushed up to the prior high. And that was a pretty obvious area to be ready to blip out if you don't just get a big push right through. If you stayed long from this long, you got to pull back, and then you got to ride it even more the rest of the day. So I saw a lot of people in the chat room saying they're one and done, and that's what it was for me. So anyhow, there we go. That was the mom signals automated. Sorry, I was listening to Steve is on YouTube. I watch Steve Kalasian every once in a while. And just something to have on in the background, their live YouTube. I think it's My Funded Futures Room, but they have Steve Kalasian on in the evenings. Okay, so there you have it. Mom signals one and done today. Or if you hung in there, you should have been 1, 2, and 3, and you should have been done if you had a little bit higher profit objective. So there you have it. I'm in I'm in a scalping dots trade short, and I'll probably shoot a video a little bit later, see how it's working out. Talk to y'all later. Oh yeah, still getting lots of emails on people that want to do Darwin X. I got a Darwin X fund guy, 2 PAM fund guys, and somebody that's thinking about opening up a boutique, basic entry-level hedge fund. So let me go in here to drawing tools. And if you have questions on the portfolio automated trading, info@grid algo.com is my email address to get a hold of me on any of that stuff. So there you go, info@gridalgo.com. I answer that email. And if you have questions on any of that, just let me know, and somebody just sent me a really long email like, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to trade. And I give them a big, huge reply showing them, all the steps they have to go through to start getting ready to set up their own fund for portfolio-based trading, whether it's crypto, FX, or whatever type of markets or instruments you want to trade. Okay, there you have it. Have a great night, and I'll shoot a video later, see where we're at. I wouldn't be surprised if we at least come down to that previous high at some point pre-market. Like between the Asian and EU session, would not be surprised to get down. So what would that be? That'd be right around the 25,270s area, right in there. So we'll see if we tag that tonight. Okay, talk to you later.